boys and girls, gather around the campfire as we start off 2025 with a bang. Now, I know last year we struggled with guests a little bit. We just had too many people reaching out to come on the show that we couldn't just find a spot for all of them. But luckily for this guy today, we were able to squeeze him in our very tight schedule. So we've been talking about it for a bit, and we're very, very excited to announce that Todd Herzog, the winner of Survivor China Season 15, is on the podcast. What's good, Todd?
Hello, how's it going?
It's going,
I'm
man. It's
good.
going a lot
Thank you
better
for
now that
having
you're
me.
here with me. So I'm not alone with
Hey,
Bert here, dude. So I,
I'm
I
excited to be
appreciate it.
here. I'm
Yeah,
Yeah.
excited to chat and see what's going on.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
we're very excited to have you, man. And I literally couldn't believe it when he's like, "Sure, I'll come on." I'm like, "Wow, okay."
Yeah. Sweet.
Broken clock is right twice a day, they say. So this
Hell
is the
yeah.
time that it struck gold. So happy to have you, Todd. So this is episode 260 of the Burton
Nice.
Burger podcast. This is an episode we've been looking forward to for a long time. And Todd, I'm not just saying this because you're on the show. Okay, we had Sydney and Coach on before, and I told them I didn't like them. Todd, you, on the other hand, are one of my favorite winners of that show, and
Well,
I
thank you.
am super stoked to have you on, dude. So it's quite the honor to have you here. But before we do any of that, before we get into the Survivor talk, Todd, he makes cute little Funko Pops now.
I do. I do. I make custom Funko Pops for a living.
Yeah, no, and they are cool. That, to say the least, they're pretty goddamn badass. Todd made Bert and I some Funko Pops, which we'll put up on the screen for you here. He made a little Bert and he made a little burger, and
Hmm.
we absolutely love how these turned out. What did you think of our request when I was like, "Hey, here's an animation in the corner of our Twitches that we put up. Can you do something with it?"
I think so. When I get a request like yours, I think it's fun, to be honest with you, because it's different. So it's like what you have is a picture of like an animated character. So it's never been a 3D model type thing before. So that
Mm.
means that I get to create something and try something different and new. And I like it. I like when I get to do, animated characters or something that you don't see every day.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he realizes he just dissed us a little bit there. He's like, "Yeah, I never see you guys anywhere." So, but you're
Yeah.
not wrong. You're not wrong. We're trying to change
True,
that with the
true.
Survivor winner here. So, no, I'm kidding. But um, no,
Oh
but
man.
I was just like, I saw you making all of these things, and I'm like, damn, these are cool. And I didn't really care enough to have somebody else's Funko Pop or something. And I'm like, I wonder if he can make our guys into some pops here, because we just got that art done for us not too long ago and sent it over to Todd, and he was all excited about it. And we got everything all set up. And then I stopped talking to him for a year. So I had to wait for the podcast money to come in, so they don't pay like Survivor does. So we had to
Yeah.
wait a little bit on that. But once we got him, though, dude, I mean, very impressed with this kind of stuff. Where did this start from? This is quite the journey from winning a reality TV show to making Funko Pops, and
That's
this
true.
is honestly a little bit cooler than winning Survivor, to be honest with you.
It's
Yeah.
okay. So it's really weird. Like I never was super artsy or creative or whatever.
Same.
But COVID hit, and so the
Mm.
world shut down, and everybody online was doing, arts and crafts and stuff. And so I talked to my husband, and I was like, "Ooh, why don't we do something?" And the two of us collect Funko Pops, and I was
Mm.
like, "You know what? Let's make our own. I want to make the Spice Girls because I love the Spice Girls, and Funko never made them." And so we just we made custom Funkos. I did the Spice Girls, and then I posted them on Facebook, and it kind of blew up. And now
Hmm.
it's my full-time job. It's my own business.
Yeah, I really wish I could do something like that. Like, fuck, man, housing's really expensive around here. I'm gonna do something about it and make a house or something like that. So I have no idea where to go with that. So Todd, he
Yeah.
sees they don't make a Spice Girls Funko Pop, so he just makes his own brand. I think that's kind of how Nike started too. So
Probably, yeah.
these shoes suck, so
The
I'm gonna
shoe's
make
not
better
quite
ones.
right.
I
Yeah.
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 mean, and
So
it allows me to just like have fun, and I get to be creative, and I get to talk to people and meet people from all over the world. And I don't know, it's just honestly, it's a lot of fun. It's a ton of work, but I have fun.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's definitely a lot of detail in it. Now, how does the process to these work? Like, do you have like a stock Funko Pop and then you add to it from there, or is it all handmade from clay or something? Like I'm so artistically stupid with this stuff. I have no idea.
I can't tell you all my secrets. I won't do
Sure.
that.
Perfect.
But
Sure.
I do sculpt
Dang,
them
Bert, you can
with
throw the notebook away. That we could
I
go
Yeah,
off
yeah, yeah.
of.
do sculpt with like a two-part epoxy, and do
Mhm.
sculpting and sanding and hand painting.
Wow.
So everything is done by hand.
Wow.
Um,
There's some details in these things. I was surprised.
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Good.
And the hair and everything. That guy looks
I
pretty fresh.
I prefer like I prefer it that way because I feel like it's, that's what makes it so unique. I don't want to be just busting out something that I 3D print. Like
Hmm.
that's not
Yeah.
really my jam. So yeah, I try to give everybody their own personal touch, and I try to, listen to if they want special requests and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
When me and you were talking on Insta, you were asking me like all of these questions, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know. Make them maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ask Bert these questions. I don't know. But you were one of the things you said is like, do you want him to be more angry or happy? And that really solidifies Bert and Berger pretty well. And you decided to make
Yeah.
him cute and happy. Did you try the angry thing and you're like, nah, these guys are too ugly this way, so we went this way? Or what was your thought process
I
there?
actually did. I did make them angry first, and I was like, this doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. I'd rather it be more like a fun thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
down the road, if you ever wanted angry ones, that's another story. Then you'd have to get
Sure.
two sets.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
the set of the happy ones just made more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think we're more happy than people give us credit for. I only get angry when my co-host starts running his mouth too much. So
Yeah.
that's when we turn into the angry mode. What did you think of yours, Bert?
No, I thought it was great. It's kind of cool, like you were saying, how you turn it, you're turning this 2D image into a 3D, I guess, sculpture, and taking some liberties with it, but it all ends up being perfect. Like it was pretty sweet seeing it come to life.
I'm
So
glad. Yeah,
yeah.
well, and Funko Pops, they have their own like style as well. So it's like the big
Yeah.
eyes, and like, so to take the picture that you have and then try to add the Funko qualities, that's kind of what's fun, because it's gonna
Yeah.
be different, obviously, because it's a Funko, but it's also the artwork.
Yeah. You're still like
Mm-hmm.
capturing that person in it.
Yeah.
Just
Mm-hmm.
yeah, kind of the fun part.
Yeah, no, and I like Funko Pops. I'm more of so I collect bobbleheads. I have a shit ton of those. And um, if they bobbled, Todd, I think you'd have all my money, dude. But they don't bobble, so I'm gonna limit it to
Do you know
just
what's
one
funny
for
is
now.
Funko actually started but with bobblehead.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, really?
Wacky Wobblers. I'm sure you
Mm-hmm.
have some if you collect
Mm-hmm.
those.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Well
Funko.
aware.
Okay.
Interesting, huh? Well, I thought I was not quite on that level of the internet where I had collect Funko Pops in a far distantly, but we'll
Yeah.
take it, I suppose. You hang out with Bert long enough, you get there. Um,
Yeah.
no, but they're so cool. I think the thing with Funkos and why I avoided them was because there's so damn many of them.
There's so
There's
many.
so many of them. So yeah, it's just like, well, if I'm gonna get him, I gotta get her, and then if I get her, I gotta get him, and all. Just no, it's gonna stress me out too much.
Absolutely. There's tens of thousands. So yes,
Mm-hmm. Tens of thousands. Gosh, is that how many you've
Oh
made?
yeah.
Tens of thousands.
I've made about 5,000.
Holy
Oh,
shit! Five
okay.
thousand. I haven't done 5,000 anything in my life. Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
pretty good.
How
Yeah.
long? How long does it take you to make about one? You think?
So this is the question I get asked the most, and my answer is hard because I don't work on one at a time. I work on about 10 to
Okay.
15 at a
Okay.
time. And so it's hard to say exactly because I am constantly working on multiples.
So, do you? You don't have to give an exact number, but is it like a couple hours on one, or like 10 minutes on one?
Oh,
Like,
no,
is
no,
it
no.
like a
It's definitely
range?
several hours because
I
like
figured.
they're all sculpted, and then
Mm-hmm.
you have to let the sculpting dry, and that takes
Oh,
24
okay.
hours on its own.
Nature's
And
got to
Yeah.
run
then,
its course. Yeah.
then it's like the sanding and then the painting alone. Like you got to be, it depends on how much detail as well. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
if there's a plaid shirt compared to just a solid blue shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely several hours if I were to sit down and do just one.
Mm-hmm. Now, did ours give you too much trouble, or were they pretty smooth for you?
It's I I can't remember the last time I really had a major problem just because I've been
Mm-hmm.
doing it for so long now. It just is
That's with
almost
his eyes
second
closed.
nature.
Yeah,
Like it's,
blindfolded and.
you know, it's weird. Like it's just like any other job that you've been doing for so long that it's like
Mm-hmm.
second nature.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if like you're like, damn, this guy's so ugly. It's taking me a little
No.
bit longer to get these
Yeah,
wrinkles
yeah,
in there.
yeah.
The harder ones are going to be like, video game characters because they're always like, huge hair and like giant
Mm-hmm.
weapons or like
Uh,
weird positions because some people want, you can never have the arms going straight up because the heads are too big. So you have to
oh
be careful
yeah,
with the
yeah.
positioning of things, or
True.
like if you have two pops together, they can't really like be hugging because of the heads. They can be reaching towards each other. So just small things like that.
Yeah, no, they're cool, and it's something that we wanted to have done for a long time, and happy that we got ours. You make cute little boxes for them to go in as well.
That was a nice
If you
touch.
look at the little circle with the number, that's what number yours are.
Oh,
So,
Oh, I see.
do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
oh. So you really know
Oh,
you've done 5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Not bad.
Nice. Okay. Well, they look awesome, Todd, and we
Thank
thank
you.
you for sending those on over. We appreciate it. Now, be proud to know that you know very privileged information that not many people on the internet know about. So we're vulnerable for you, Todd. So you better have sealed lips, buddy, or you're gonna have a problem. So no, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I don't give a shit. I sent Coach my Survivor audition tape, so he's seen a different side of me too, and completely told me how shitty it was. So I'm used to being embarrassed by Survivor contestants. So
Oh,
um,
coach.
yeah, no,
Oh yeah.
he was something else. So just naturally transitioning into that, dude. One thing I've always wanted to ask Survivor players is, do you guys ever just get sick and tired of all the Survivor questions? Does that ever get old a little bit? I know some people it does piss them off a little bit. Where are you
Um,
at with that?
Honestly, I don't mind it. So I guess like the way I look at it is I'm the one who signed up for it and
Mm-hmm.
I'm a diehard fan. I started day one as a kid. I was obsessed all through high school. It was like the one, how kids are like, I want to be a doctor when I grow up. I was like, I'm gonna play Survivor.
Hmm.
And so like it was my thing. And so as far as like getting sick and tired of it, no, I still watch, I still love it. Now, if I were like to sit with my friends, like my family and stuff, and that's all we talked about, it would be really annoying. But
Yeah.
but as far as like, Survivor fans and whatnot asking me Survivor questions, I don't mind at all because I've been in the same shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I could see
Well,
that.
also you could have lost too. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
I could
just
have.
lost, and that might
Yeah.
have saved you a little bit of attention too. I tell some people, but
Yeah.
but yeah. Well, and the thing is like I'm known as a Survivor guy in my circles.
Uh-huh.
I've done nothing with this show at all. Like not even a tiny bit. I just like it. I haven't even seen every season, and I get annoyed with it. So it's just like, I mean, Todd's a winner, and he's not just a winner. I mean, he's debated as one of the best winners out there, and I can just imagine that on steroids almost. So yeah.
Well,
Uh,
here's the thing is like I wanted because I was such a super fan. My goal was to get out there and make the diehard Survivor fans proud. And
Mm-hmm.
that's, I was like, there's so many super fans who have played the game and not won. And I was technically the very first super fan to ever win.
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's you made a lot of people proud. I was talking with some people on Reddit, of course, out of all places, but they had literally nothing but positive things to say about you in the post, and you were quite the heartthrob for a lot of people, Todd, when you were on that show too. I was surprised by that because I thought I was the only
I'm
one.
surprised by that too.
Yeah, no, there was a couple people in there that were talking about how they had these big crushes on you, but then they deleted my Reddit post because it was too generic. So I'm like, well, fuck you. So Reddit is probably harder to appease than Survivor casting people. So I don't know. Anyways, um,
Yeah.
that's that's another question that I have is what the hell was the audition process like? I'm always so interested to talk to people about how they applied and when they got people to reach out to them and things like that. What was that like for you?
So mine is very, very different than it is now because I mean, it was so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so,
Like how they
um,
cast people is different now
well, the
than,
whole process.
yeah,
So,
sending in videos and
because
stuff.
yeah, I had to send like a VHS in,
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh
because
man, that's crazy.
2007 is when I was on.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I auditioned 3 times. The second time I applied was for Survivor Fiji, and
Mm-hmm.
I made it to semifinals, and I got cut. And so I auditioned one more time. I sent my video in, and about 4 months after I sent it in is when I got called. And I, at that point, had just assumed that I wasn't going to get called.
Mm-hmm.
And they said they wanted to bring me straight to finals. And so, of course, I was freaking out. And so, what they did was I flew to LA and I was put up in a hotel for a week. I was given an alias. So, I went by Pat Parker.
Mm-hmm.
And
Famous Pat Parker.
yeah, they put us, so we were all in our own rooms, and our hotel room would the phone in the room would ring, and they'd be like, you need to go to the pool house at this time, or you need to go to room 207 for this. And so you just
Wow.
waited, and they would have you do like psych evals and medical checks, and then production interviews. So like there were several different rounds of interviews with like all the camera crew and then all of the field producers, and then one interview I walked into and Jeff was there. And
Shit.
so they did that. And then there was 2 days left and they had sent half of us home. So there was 48 of us that started and they sent half the people home. And I was left and we all went to CBS, like, the main
Mm-hmm.
place.
The headquarters or
Um,
whatever, yeah.
that's what I was going to call it. But I was like, is that what it's called? Studios, CBS Studios.
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever, yeah. I don't work there
Um,
or anything, so they can't yell at me.
Yeah.
So we got put in this big room and they pulled like 6 of us to go be interviewed by Mark Burnett and Les Moonves,
Mm-hmm.
who was the CEO of CBS back then. So yeah, I did all the interview process. At the very end, they came into my room and they started giving me shots and they said, you're 97% a yes, but it is not official because we're doing another round of casting. So I went home and basically waited and they called me every couple weeks and they would say, like, we need you to mail in 4 different colored t-shirts and 4 different pairs of pants and 3 swimsuits. And so I was mailing all of these clothes to them, but I was still not for sure on.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And so it was 15 days that I was given the official yes. So they called me and they said, congratulations, you made it. It was like the whole room was clapping. And of course, I freaked out and they said, you're going to China. 15 days later, I was on a plane to China.
It's
Gosh,
crazy.
they really tease you, don't they?
Yeah, it was the worst and coolest experience of my life.
Oh my gosh. Fuck, I think an org is bad.
Oh yeah, no, it was
For
very
real.
stressful. So stressful.
God.
Uh,
Golly. Okay, so you know what you should have said is, nah, now that I'm in control,
yeah,
I'm not interested. Oh my
See, and
goodness.
here's the thing though, is like even so we flew to China and we were in China for about 2 weeks before we started playing the game. So we couldn't speak to anybody. We're doing,
yeah.
People Magazine, Entertainment Weekly, just all sorts of like pre-game stuff. And so we could see everybody that was there, but we couldn't talk. And so refused to believe that I was officially cast until cameras started rolling on day one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I was like, holy shit, I did
You're
it.
on the island just talking to you, and you're like, "Yeah, you're pranking me, buddy."
Like I just
Yeah.
kept expecting to be sent home.
Mm-hmm.
It was terrifying.
Yeah,
Oh
it
man.
bugged me too. We're just waiting for Jeff to give you the finger or something. Like, dang,
Yeah.
chops his head off.
Yeah, we're only doing 17 people this season, buddy.
Yeah, yeah. See you
What
later.
the hell?
So golly, yeah. So I listened to the On Fire podcast as well, and Jeff has asked to come on here a few times, but I said nope. We got Todd on this weekend, so you'll have to wait, Jeff. Um, he understood, but they talk pretty similar. Like the process is similar, except like the start part is very different, where you have to send in a freaking VHS tape from Blockbuster to
Yeah.
Yeah.
CBS, and now it's literally just on Google. Has a lot of stuff like starting things off has changed, but other than that, like all the other steps, are they pretty similar, or is it a pretty different process? Now I know they're looking for like a different type of person for the new era, they said. But
Yeah.
yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
So I know that like they don't do in-person casting anymore. It's all done online, as far
Mm-hmm.
as I'm aware.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I know Jeff does a lot of the calls now, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
that's what he
Um,
says.
so he'll do like video calls with people in casting, which if I that would I mean I would die back then. So
Mm-hmm.
and then like I think the creepy or the scariest part was that 7 days of being locked up in a hotel. Like that was a crazy experience because
Yeah.
you would eat lunch and you would see all of these people who are also competing to be on the show, and you
Mm-hmm.
can't speak to them, and like you'd be eating in the restaurant and sitting at a table by yourself just eyeing everybody. It was just so bizarre.
Oh gosh.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't know, the casting process now, I feel like anybody can pretend to be somebody for so long on a video call, but you start to really see someone in person and get to know who they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I've also heard, I read Jimmy Johnson, the head football coach that went out in 21, he wrote a book, and when he was on Survivor Philippines, I think he was saying something like they take you out on the island for like a week or two, like so you can get adjusted to like the time zone and things like
yeah.
that. Do they do that for you guys as well, or?
Yeah, so we got to China and we started off in Beijing for a day, but then we went into Shanghai. And if you watch the opening credits of my season, you see
Mm-hmm.
us dragging our suitcases like through modern China. So
Mm-hmm.
all of that was pretty much right when we got there. And
Mm-hmm.
then we went to like the middle of nowhere, and where Ponderosa is, and they were
Mm-hmm.
these little bungalows in the jungle, and we stayed there. And so that's where we did all of our pre-press, and it
Okay.
was the adjusting to the time and making sure that everybody was medically well. And so all the cast bio stuff and cast photos and stuff happened during that we were there it was 14 days total before we started filming, which I
Okay.
think is longer than normal. But I guess China had a ton of permits and all sorts of stuff that they had to deal with.
Mm.
So yeah, it
Yeah,
was it was
that's
crazy
what I've
because we
heard.
were all there together. Just again, we had different aliases and we were not allowed to speak.
Ah, boy, that pissed me off. Like if I like stubbed my toe and it said "ow" and someone's like, "Oh," I'm like, okay,
Somebody just
I'm
hits
done.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd
And
be
we all
hit,
took
Fuck.
sick or
notes on
something.
each other. We
Damn
all
it.
had notebooks where we'd write stuff down and like try to figure out who people were. Like PG was playing Sudoku pretty much all day. Courtney
Mm-hmm.
was reading a book about infectious diseases. Jean Robert was complaining about the food all the time. Jamie was
Mm-hmm.
listening to Avril Lavigne on her Walkman. And like you get to see these personalities develop just by watching them, but you don't know who's on your tribe. You don't know what their names are. Like my name in Ponderosa was Oswald Valentine. So
Gosh,
That's
name of
crazy.
my dog.
it's just weird.
Yeah, that's a
Golly,
goofy one.
you're making the sound not so fun, Todd. Maybe I'll
To,
delete the
to be
emails you sent.
completely honest, it was exhilarating.
No, I mean,
Sounds very unique.
it sounds amazing, yeah, but it's so much before you have to do the starving and before you have to
Yes.
make a fool out of yourself on
Yeah.
national television and all of that kind of
Yes.
stuff before you
Yeah.
even walk on the damn thing. It's just boy, I'm for it, but still, that's one thing I remember. Coach, he had it pinned on his Twitter for a while, like, you know, you don't knock it until you try it kind of thing. Like, you can't give us shit if you've never played the game before or something like that. And I remember when Coach was on the show, I'm like, Coach, I believe you. And trust me, buddy, I'm trying.
Uh-huh.
I'm at the point where I don't know how long I've applied. I'm at the point to where just an email back would be so fucking cool. Hey, G-Burger, why don't you tell me a little bit more about yourself? And then never heard from him again. Like, just give me a tease or something.
Uh-huh.
I get it. I get it. I know a lot of people who literally they apply every single time and nothing. And
Mm-hmm.
I get asked all the time, what do I do in my video? What should I do in my video? And I honestly don't have an answer
Mm-hmm.
because I turned my camera on, I talked for 3 minutes about pretty much nothing, and I sent it in, and like that was it. And
Mm-hmm.
Oh
so
my gosh.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's weird. My biggest suggestion to anybody is I say, don't spend the whole time talking about how much of a fan you are. Talk about your life and
Mm-hmm.
yourself and who you are, where you come from, and why you're going to win the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you got Jeff every episode saying, Hey, this looks fun, doesn't it? Sure does, Jeff. Apply to be on Survivor. I'm like, okay, I'll do
That's
it.
so funny.
Sure. Yeah, he's just mocking me every time. I saw that people online said that too. Like, anybody else think Jeff's being kind of a butt about all of that?
like
Yep.
like
Yeah.
Jeff, we're applying. Why
Yeah,
aren't you
I'm
We're
calling?
applying,
trying,
gorgeous.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just call me. I've been answering spam like, here it is. It's Jeff. And then it's just, yeah, about my car warranty or my credit card bills or something like that. I got a call from Los Angeles, California when I was at work. And I literally stepped out of work. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it's
This
well,
is
here.
it.
This is
yeah.
it. Nope, it was some robot.
It'll
So,
come up as unavailable or private.
yeah, which those ones I definitely spam. I answer and say, quit calling me. God damn. And then I hang up
Yeah,
on
go
them. And
away.
yeah, but we'll see someday. Someday they say the older you get, the more likely you're going to be on the show because they get young people every year that apply. So maybe I just got to be like wait until I'm in my 40s or something to
I
increase my
mean,
odds.
that is true. A lot of really young people apply.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see
yeah.
that.
I saw, yeah, and like I think Sammy a couple of years ago was on, and he was like 19. I'm like, God damn it! Like, I'm getting old now, but this is one of those shows. It's not like the NFL. You can start whenever. So
Better with age.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. We age like fine wine in Survivor.
Yeah.
So talking a little bit more about your season. Now, you talked a little bit about it. I heard that first of all, season 15 again goes down as one of the best seasons of Survivor. I've heard that multiple times, and had a great winner. Obviously, his final tribal council out of this fucking world. But
Thank you.
also, the production for this season was really good because I heard something like Survivor and like the government in China or something like that were working together and they got more
Yes.
funding to really, I mean, it's a stellar, like visually show and everything, more so than the other seasons.
Yeah. So Mark Burnett, when we met him in casting, he asked the whole room. He said, "Does anybody know where the next season is going to film?" And I raised my hand, of course, and I was like, "China." And he was like, "How did you find that out?" And I was like, I just because I was a Survivor Suckster, if you remember Survivor Sucks. And so like I saw it in
Uh,
there. And that's like that was all the rumors. Anyway, so he says, "We are indeed going to China. This has been my dream." He wanted China to be season 2. So he'd been
Okay.
oh,
trying to get into China after season 1 and finally was granted permission from the Chinese government for season 15. And because of that, it also had a $177 million budget, which is the
Wow.
highest out of any of the
oh
seasons.
God.
Wow.
And so like, China was really like upping their tourism at that point. It was before the Olympics and all of, and so that's why
Okay.
they got to go into the temple, like the Shaolin temple, and we got to go to the Great Wall of China and spend the night on it. And like they had these really incredible reward challenges, and it was
Mm-hmm.
all because it was also, showcasing China.
Hmm.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful season. I rewatched it recently, and it's awesome. And it really amazes me how Survivor has changed visually throughout the years. Like you can tell when you're watching an older season
Oh
by
yeah.
like they have
That's
all the
crazy.
tropey like early 2000s stuff in it, and then I don't know if it's like the quality of the cameras or something
Yeah,
or
my
what.
season was not HD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so that might be a part of it because it's like I feel like it looks beautiful. I'm not dissing it, but it's like the
It's
camera.
old.
Yeah, the camera reminds me of like
Yeah.
my mom recording me on her video camera, and you could hear like the cap like smacking against the camera or something like that
Yeah,
at times.
I think Gabon was the first season to film in HD.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
like once you hit the 20s and stuff like that, it starts to look like modern Survivor. Like if
Yes.
you just look at frames from like 22 or 28 or 34, like you can tell it's one of the modern ones, but if you saw a frame of the older ones, you can you can tell, and I mean that just speaks volumes to this show and how long
Oh,
they've been kicking
absolutely.
ass.
Like
Yeah.
you turn my season on, yeah, it's really cool. It's a great season. It just is old. It's filmed
Mhm.
with an old camera.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing season.
Still great.
One of my favorites by a long shot. So, guys had an awesome budget with that, made it look absolutely spectacular, and things like that. You talked a little bit about the traveling to China and everything. Not gonna lie though, Todd, the not beautiful parts of China looked miserable. Looked kind of hot, muggy,
Oh my
rainy,
gosh.
muddy. I mean, that's
It's
Survivor, but sometimes more than other seasons, that's for sure.
it was rough. It was so hard. So it was monsoon season.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
when
so
it was
crazy they
hot,
had you
it
there.
was like, no, I know. There was
Yep.
even one night where the entire camera crews left because it was so bad.
Like
And
fuck you
so
Wow.
guys.
it was literally just us sitting
Oh my
in
god.
this torrential storm. And we were like, are we gonna die? And
Wow.
it was very, very like
Oh,
it was
what the heck?
scary.
Hey, yo,
Because
yeah, damn.
when it
Did
was
they like did they leave
hot,
like a walkie-talkie? They're like, here, call us if it gets real
Just
no,
in
bad.
case. Yeah.
nothing. It was they
Wow.
just left, and
No
we were
flare
like,
guns.
what happened?
Mm.
What the
Yeah.
heck?
That's when you gotta go find like an idol or something like that. Like, I'll show you guys. Like,
It was we
Gotta go
were all
potty.
curled up inside of this hole, like this little cave.
Oh, I
In
think I remember
this
seeing that. Yeah.
we called it the cave. It was more like a muddy hole in the side of a wall. And
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
we all squeezed in there, and it was so bad that it was like flooding the bottom of the cave, and they all just disappeared. And like, because you couldn't see anything, and the lightning was, oh,
Oh gosh.
so yeah, it was crazy.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, you get like what do they call that? That trench boot or something like that, trench foot,
Yes.
but like you're
Oh
getting
Oh,
it
yeah.
like from your shoulders down because you're just
we
sweeping in water.
it
Yeah, yeah.
was really
Oh
bad. Our
god.
feet were like trench foot. It was, all wrinkly all the time because
Yeah,
they
Yeah.
it was really, yeah.
got to
Oh
squeeze it out
gosh.
like a washcloth or something like that
Oh
every
gosh.
couple of hours.
They'd
Just
always say, make sure you dry your feet out, make sure you're dry. And we're like, how are we supposed to do that? There's
got a towel,
nothing
yeah.
is dry.
Hmm.
So, but we kind of
Yeah,
got this system down. So like we would hear the thunder coming, and so we would take our clothes off except for our swimsuit or underwear, and we'd put our clothes inside of our bags, and then we'd put our bags inside the cave, and then we'd sit there in the rain while it rained, and then once the rain stopped, we'd put our clothes back on and they'd be dry.
Huh.
damn. Yeah, I'm just like I'm trying to think of like how I would try to avoid it, like dig a hole up to my head and then just have my head sticking out. But then that's how you drown, so can't
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah, just lay in the river or something. But then gator will get your ass or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
Some people liked to sit in the lake during the rain, but the lightning was what freaked me
Yeah, so
out.
you're not
So
supposed to do that.
Yeah,
yeah,
that'll hurt.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, medevac though from a lightning strike would be pretty bonkers.
yeah, could you imagine?
That'd be crazy.
Jeez.
It is time to shout out the first ever sponsor in Burton Burger history, the Moobaroo Store. You've heard of Duck Duck Jeep, where people leave little rubber duckies on Jeeps. Well, get ready for Moo Moo Subaru. Same thing as the ducks with Jeeps, but now it's cows, aka moos, with Subarus. Now, whenever you see a cool-looking Subaru, you can go moo that thing by placing a cute little cow with a card stating you've been mooed and start a brand new movement in your area.
The folks at the Moobaroo Store have endless options of moos to choose from, and you can check them all out by heading to their website at www.moobaroostore.com. They sent your cousins a box with a ton of different moos, including some custom Burton Burger ones. Also, the Moobaroo Store is holding a huge contest this holiday season with a ton of prizes. And if you are interested in checking that out, you can search www.moobaroostore.com/sweepstakes.
As a proud pumpkin orange Subaru owner myself, I've been wanting to be a part of the movement for quite some time, and with the Moobaroo Store, I can and so can you. So once again, go check out the moobaroostore.com to see their awesome collection of moos, and make sure you tell them that Burton Burger sent you.
All their links can be found in the description below, and thank you so much to the Moobaroo Store for the first ever Burton Burger sponsorship.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, and then one challenge I saw recently was the one that you and Courtney sat out on, where they were beating the shit out of each other on the little boats.
Yeah.
Some of those challenges were crazy.
Yeah, I love the old school challenges. Gosh,
so good.
Now, you guys said the Munchkins are setting out.
Yes.
On this one. Now, Todd, you think you would have fucking kicked ass if you were in that challenge?
Absolutely not.
Oh man.
No way. I know I would have been thrown into the water right away. Like I had zero problem sitting out. Like that's one thing is I've never pretended to be better at challenges than I am. I didn't win a single challenge, and I never, I know that I'm not a physical person. I call myself an indoor dog. I just love Survivor. So like I'm not equipped really to be Mr. Outdoorsy. I just wanted to go play this game.
Yeah.
I just that challenge was really cool.
It was brutal. I mean, it was fun to watch.
Nasty.
I bet you had the best seat in the freaking house, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my
real.
gosh. Yeah, and they were just smoking each other, and I don't know. It's kind of because was that the first challenge you guys lost or something like that?
I think it might have been.
So yes, it was.
Yeah, because I think you sent. I think it was Leslie got sent home. That's
yes.
her name. I watched it recently. Don't get excited. Like, damn, this guy knows his shit. Yeah, I cheated. Because they did like girls, guys.
Yes.
Yeah. And their girls just beat your girls, and your guys destroyed their guys. I mean,
yeah. Well,
surprised nobody.
Jean Robert and James were gigantic.
I know. My fucking gosh.
Yeah. They're huge people. Like Jean Robert is 6'7".
He looked very tall, even from the camera.
Yeah, he's huge. I'm really not that short. I'm 5'8". And like compared to the other people that were out there, that just shows how big they were,
Wow. He's massive. Damn.
Crazy.
Gosh. Yeah. John Rivera looks like my biological father, so I always like seeing him. I'm just like, I don't know. It's kind of a weird feeling. But yeah, they just kicked ass. Then that one guy, he got his butt cheeks out. I forgot his name.
That was
Crazy
Dave. I was gonna say Dan. Yeah, that's a strap.
Yeah.
That's a strap.
Yeah.
That was something. I mean, and he was thrown into the water, so he just looked stupid.
Would you have done that, Todd?
Would I have done that? No. Absolutely not.
Any advantage you can get, you gotta take it.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, he just like took his pants off and then like dove like back first into James. And James just caught him and threw him off the fucking boat. He's like, "Get away from me!"
Literally swatted him like a fly.
Yeah. No. Do you know why James looks like a fucking Greek god sculpture? Like, what the hell?
He tells you it's just genetics and because he digs graves.
Yeah, okay, buddy. Okay, never mind.
But like seriously, he was so outrageously fit. I couldn't tell you exactly why.
Yeah, that's like
he says he hates the gym too, which I don't know if he was just lying. I don't know because he was crazy sculpted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
'Cause you do hit some pretty serious muscles when you're digging, but like, holy shit.
okay,
That
yeah,
was like
yeah,
everything.
yeah, okay,
Like, nah,
buddy.
you live
I'm
at the
not
gym,
falling for
pal.
it. If he would have told me that,
Yeah.
I would have got voted out. Like, oh, okay, you're being an ass and not having the truth. Cool.
Yeah.
God damn. Yeah, like he literally looks like I don't know, better not. I'm gonna get myself in trouble here. I was gonna say like those new art models that people do
Oh yeah, yeah,
where they're just sitting there jacked out of their mind, or like Mr. Olympia people. But yeah, he's just born that way. Cool. Yeah, big guy. Are you in touch with many of those people from your season? Do you guys like have a cute little group chat, or do you hate all of them, or what's the?
No, I don't hate anybody. So like still keep in touch with Courtney and Leslie, sometimes PG, sometimes Denise, sometimes Frosty.
And I also see you involved with other Survivor stuff too. Like I've seen you like on Instagram chatting with who's the lady that was just on with Carson? Carolyn.
Oh,
Carolyn and
Carolyn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Carson, you guys were like on an Instagram live. This was like 6 months ago or something, but you guys were chatting up there too.
Um, so she invited me, I guess her and Carson do a thing, and she just
Mhm.
invited me to join one night, and I said, sure.
Mhm.
So I mean,
That's
I
fun.
try to stay in the Survivor community. Like I, love these people. They're a lot of fun. And so like I'm doing the Survivor cruise that's gonna be in July, and Carolyn is gonna be on that as well. So yeah, I mean, like Hunter from 46, I just did his little trivia on Instagram a couple days
Mhm.
ago. So yeah, I try. If people ask me, I'm able to, I'm happy to.
That's
Well,
awesome.
that goes on to my next question is the kind of life outside of Survivor a little bit. Do you get those kind of invites quite a bit? I mean, we've talked to other folks and they say they get this and they get that. And I'm just wondering, like, since you're an actual winner, are you
Yes.
constantly getting that stuff? That's awesome.
I get asked all the time. So what I have to say with podcasts usually though is I say like if you order a pop, I'll do your podcast. Just because I get asked so often to do
I bet.
podcasts.
Yeah.
And I don't like saying no,
Mm-hmm.
but if someone is going to support my business, then I'm happy to support them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's my deal there. But then like other things when it comes to like game, I won't do an org. You can't pay me to do an org. I will
Oh
not do it.
man.
People ask me that all the time. Will you join our org? It's like fans versus favorites or something. I'm like, no, I can't. I'm
Oh, that's
sorry.
crazy.
Because people in orgs go insane. And
Mm-hmm.
I've
Oh
witnessed it.
God.
I will, however, host a challenge or, be the prize where like I can give advice or whatever. I'm happy to do that, but I am not
Sure.
going to play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's a
they're pretty
crazy
hard,
commitment and
Todd. I
everything
wouldn't
too.
really expect you to understand or anything like
No,
that.
these people they're mean.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Yeah, I play like maybe one or two a year, and they're just so mentally draining. And
I
we
Yeah.
and first of all, I'm not about to complain about how taxing an org is to fucking Todd Herzog, winner of Survivor China. However, we have talked about it like at least with Survivor, like that is your life for a handful of weeks or months or something like that, and then it's
yeah.
done. Like with the org though, like balancing your work, your job, your family, and all of that shit, like
That's what I'm talking about because I've
yeah.
seen how much people put into them and I don't know how
It's
they do it.
crazy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how
Mm-mm.
am I supposed to compete with that? There's some people who like go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so,
They're doing them like every month too. It's like, oh,
They're
what
doing
the
like three at
hell?
the same time, and you're like, shit, no, this was
Yeah.
in a different org, and I'm like, fuck, dude.
Oh, I don't get it.
Yeah,
Oh man. It's
yeah,
too
they're
much.
they're crazy. But and then you had a couple of people from your season play again.
yes.
You had like Amanda and James and Courtney and things like that. Has Survivor themselves reached out and say, "Yo, Todd," and you've given them the finger, or have you not heard anything, or what's kind of the
I
scoop on
have been
that?
called a few times. So 3 different times I've been called. 3 times I said yes, and it just never happened.
Sure.
Hmm.
So the way I look at it is this. If I was asked, I would say yes because I would regret saying no with the question
Mm-hmm.
of what if. However, I'm not sitting by the phone daydreaming
Yeah.
about playing again, because I played the game and I'm super proud of the game that I played, and so I don't have to go back to prove anything, but I would go back and I would try my best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
You already
that's
1-0
awesome.
too, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
know.
like I'm batting
Yeah.
1,000. I don't want to go back
Yeah,
and be like
exactly.
the second
Mhm.
person voted out and feel stupid, you know?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now, are you able to tell us which ones they were asking you about, or is that
They were
confidential?
they were seasons that were not what they were going to be.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
So like they obviously didn't turn out to be the season that I was called and asked if I would want to play again.
Sure. Okay, that's cool if they do that. I figured by the time like they're reaching out to folks, like it would be pretty set in stone.
Oh no, are
Yeah.
you kidding? So like even with Winners at War, before Winners at War, it was going to be Legends.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I have
Okay.
heard that, but also like they might advertise it as one thing because they don't want to show you what they're actually doing. I mean, these fuckers think of everything.
Well, like Coach was going to be on 40
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
And then they decided to switch it to Winners.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Game Changers as well, it was going to be something completely different. It was going to be like a tribe of winners, a tribe of runners up, a tribe of pre-jury, and a tribe of jury.
Mm.
And they had several people get swapped around and they had to change that whole plan.
Sure. Yeah, no. 50's coming up.
Yes.
That's up in a year. You gonna be MIA for a few months here, Todd, or
I don't know. I mean, if they decide to call and have me come back, then yes, I guess I would be.
He's answering like a Marvel actor. I love it. He's saying if they decide to call, he knows damn well he already filmed and won it. Well,
Yeah, exactly.
I think they film this upcoming summer. So
yeah,
if I
that's what I've heard.
disappear, it's probably where I went.
Mm-hmm. You'd have to have like pre Funko Pops made.
I was
so
just
then
gonna
they're,
say.
released. Yeah.
Sorry, your Funko Pop's gonna take like 2 months. What do you mean? They normally take like a week or two.
I'm currently
Oh.
booked out 3.5 months.
Mhm.
Sorry.
That's what he was telling us. I'm like, is this motherfucker going back on like 49 or something? Like, what the hell?
I am normally like booked 5 to 6 weeks.
Well, yeah. I mean, if
So-
you make 5,000 of them, damn.
It's possible.
Yeah. That it's all part of the plan. I see. This is a Survivor player here. You think he's doing something for you? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Something else. Yeah.
But the
no,
truth
dude.
is, like with 50, like as a fan, I personally think like no winners should be back. I think it should be like a second chances type thing
Mhm.
where it's people who've only played once. If they do bring winners back, it's got to be an equal amount of winners as people who did not win,
Mhm.
because otherwise it would be just a complete slaughterhouse of the winners.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
true.
They've done that in previous seasons too. Where
Yeah.
if you won, they just target you right away. Yeah.
And that's not fun. That's boring. You know, that's
Mhm.
stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and I think Jeff has kind of talked about that a little bit with the all women's alliances that people try to make sometimes in Survivor, where
Yeah.
only very few of those have worked out well. To make an alliance based off of like one single thing like that, Jeff was saying, like, really puts you at risk for a lot of good things that could happen in other ways because you're so focused on all girls. So like if you have a winner, a part of your tribe, and you're attacking them just for that. I mean, it was the same thing with Jimmy Johnson again from Philippines. He was
Exactly.
Super Bowl winning head coach, and they're like, get him out of here. He's leaving. So he's also about 70, so that probably slowed the tribe down a little bit, he says, but all in good fun. So when things wrapped up, you guys didn't have the luxury, Todd, of hey, we're gonna say who wins right now. You had to wait quite a long time. Now, Todd, that whole 4 months or weeks go by of you waiting to be on the show was long.
Yes.
I gotta imagine this part right here had to be pretty damn excruciating.
It was. It really was. Because like, okay, I was positive that it was either a tie or that Courtney had won.
Mm-hmm.
And so in my head, I was like, you know what? Either way, I've won $100,000 at least.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came home, and so first of all, you're not allowed to tell anybody that you're on Survivor. So I had told everybody that I was doing an internship with Air Lufthansa,
Okay.
so that so
Makes
that they
sense.
just, but then
Huh.
I came home and I was so skinny. And they were like, "What the
Okay.
hell
Prisoner of war,
happened?"
yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, what's going on here?" And so word got out pretty quickly that I was on the show.
Oh no.
And because I also couldn't stop eating when I got home. So like I was just ravenous. And but I obviously I didn't tell anybody anything. I just kept it a secret. And every week everybody continuously thought that I was going to be next. I was going to be next. And before you know it, I'm in the finale and they're like, "Wait, what?"
That's got to be so crazy. That's a crazy
Gosh,
secret to
It was
have.
pretty awesome.
That's
yeah,
insane.
that's insane. Like,
That's
you can't even
insane.
like tell your mom or anything like
No.
that. Oh, they're gonna have
So
to
my
Oh my
execute your
mom,
gosh.
mom.
she knew that I was at least in the final six because my sister came to China.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
you're right.
So
Yep, yep,
my
yep, yep.
family knew I had gone that far. But my
Mhm.
mom, she tells me to this day, she thought I was fourth place. And I was like, I'm like, why?
Oh.
Like, why? And she's like, I don't know. I just had this feeling that you were fourth. And I'm like, well, thanks, mom, for the.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What the heck?
So, so yeah,
Yeah.
like it was crazy to be honest with you, because a lot of the people, a lot of people looked at me and they were like, "You're a small guy. You don't like being outside. Like, what's the deal? You went and played Survivor." So nobody thought that I was gonna go out there and actually do the deed.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
um, it was pretty awesome to see everybody be shocked.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then how long did you have to wait until like that like Jeff walks out and then
To the live reunion. So we
yeah.
got home August 2nd, and the finale was December 16th.
Okay. So that's not as bad. No, 3 months, I guess. October. Yep, never
So
mind.
Yeah.
It's fucking
September,
terrible.
October, November. Yeah, like
Yep.
3.5 months.
Yuck. I mean, I got times where I'm like in fantasy football where I'm like, oh boy, and I can't even wait the next 12 hours.
Uh-huh.
So, wow, gosh, I mean, that's insane. So, what's the live reunion like too? They don't have those anymore either. I really wish they'd bring those back. That's got to
Those
be
Yeah.
that was the
It's
best
amazing.
hard.
part. It was super awesome because it was the first time the whole cast was reunited. So all of the cast is in like this big room where we get to watch the finale together, and our families are in the audience and they have big screens out there watching it.
Oh wow.
And then they pull us down and they mic us up, and it's like super nerve-wracking because you're about to walk onto the stage that looks like the tribal council that you were just at,
Yeah.
and but you're all clean and fat and showered, and
Mm-hmm.
they bring you
Looking
out
good.
and you
Oh
see
yeah.
everybody sitting in the audience, and Jeff starts reading those votes. Like, it's super surreal, honestly. Like, I remember I was watching Survivor All Stars where Amber won, and I was like, that's the feeling that I will have one day. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember saying, like,
Oh
I'm
man.
going to win this show. Like, this is going to happen. I'm telling people right now. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I walked out onto that stage and I sat down, I was like, it's happening. I see where my family is. I know where I'm running to. So it was very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you have one of my just favorite reactions to winning too. Like just the authentic like look on your face. Like I'm like, fuck yeah, like well deserved. And I love
Yeah.
watching the winners run down straight to their family, give
Well,
them a big
because
hug.
I'm telling you, I thought it was going to be Courtney or a tie. And right before like that we went live, Jeff came in and he said, "So tonight, if there's a tie, what happens will be announced on the stage." And
Oh,
so
okay.
we were like, "Are you serious?" Because we already thought it could possibly be a tie. And
Mm-hmm.
so, of course, we get out on the stage, and Courtney was freaked out at this point. She's like, "I can't do it. I can't do a challenge in the middle of a stage in front of everybody." She's like, "I left China for a
Oh,
reason."
burn, yeah,
Oh
So,
make a
god.
fire or something. Yeah.
yeah, she was afraid that's what it was going to be. So, if you look at her face, you can literally see her thinking about doing a challenge.
You know, Jeff, you didn't even have to say anything here, dude.
And
Like,
he did
come
it to
on.
psych us out.
Yeah,
That's so
gosh.
funny.
But
Even
the
at the very
crazy
end.
thing, this is the crazy
Yeah.
part though. So Amanda is sitting there as well, but Amanda had only been home from Micronesia for about 7 days.
Yep.
So
Wow.
Amanda had just been in final tribal council again
Mm-hmm.
and had to go. I just couldn't even imagine.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
crazy.
so you're saying for the final tribal for the next season she came back?
Yes. So
Oh,
she
so like
knew
her
she
season was
was,
already gone? Or already
yeah,
done?
she went and filmed Micronesia while China was airing.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. I see. I think
What
so
the
then okay,
hell?
so then she was home for 7 days
And then had to
from
go do from the season 16.
yeah. So she had to go back and do the season 15
Yes.
Wow.
finale.
And then
And then
a few months later, go and do the live reunion for Survivor Fans versus Favorites,
yep.
where she also lost.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
but she was runner up
Fuck.
though, right? Was that the final
Yeah.
2-1? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh my god. Yeah, I think they said something about Russell too had to do that with Samoa and
Yes, he did
Heroes
the same
versus
thing with
Villains.
Samoa and Heroes versus Villains.
Yeah, damn CBS.
That's crazy.
Isn't that
Golly,
insane?
that is
That's way too much.
Now they film back to back.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it used to not be that way.
I think,
Oh
yeah, I think
man.
Jeff said something like they stack like tribal councils on top of each other, so there's like one beneath the other one. He talked about on the podcast or some shit
Which
like that.
is insane.
Yeah, the other like the other tribe like so like 41's on top, 42's below. Like Jeff has to like slide like a little fireman's pole down to.
So I think what happens
Tribal
is like
council.
49 will be filming. And then when there is like 10 days left in 49's game, the cast for 50 arrives.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And we'll be doing all of their pre stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so 49 wraps, and then they swap tribal councils because 50 has just started.
They're gonna like look across the island and see a guy with a bee on his hat. They're like, no,
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna see Todd following behind him.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Sydney and Coach will be there too, Bert. It's the BnB
There we go.
effect. Just,
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see Sydney.
yeah, she was.
Yeah.
She was awesome. She was crazy. I loved her, and she said something, and just it really resonated with me because she was walking down New York or whatever, and she said a lot of people have been asking me if they asked me to come back on season 50 if I would do it, and she's like, I'd have to think about it, but it's not something I really have to do. I already have this awesome life and stuff like that. And usually, Todd, when I hear stuff like this, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Oh, I don't need Survivor or anything like that. But then I like sit back and think, Sydney is gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful lady. She's a fucking lawyer, very smart lady. She's traveled like just about every goddamn country out there, just about. She's been on Survivor already. Yeah, I think this is one of the few people that can say I don't really need to do this for my life anymore.
Well, here's the
And I
thing
believe
too,
it.
though, is you'll find people though, like after 10 seasons pass, they're like I would go, but I don't have to anymore. But the people from the new eras, like that's all they think about and all they talk about. But that's how we were for 5-6 years after our seasons. It's all we would think about and all we would talk about. But I don't know, like I would do it, but I'm not sitting here just thinking, oh my gosh, if I don't get called, I don't know what I'll do with myself. Like I'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, like I can only say it so many times, but Todd does not need to go back on. He's like you said, batting 1,000, literally. So, but yeah, that's what I thought with Sydney. Like she was just like, I don't know, we'll see about it, and then Coach is all for it again. So,
Coach.
yeah.
I mean, Coach is excellent television. Let's be honest,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, he's gonna go back and just be a character again and not win. So what's the point?
Yeah. No, there's so many people out there talking about who they'd want to see in 50, and I don't know. It's crazy to think about it that it's coming up on season 50. I mean, dude,
That is
Todd,
wild.
you were on 15.
I
How does
know,
that
it's
feel?
crazy.
They're on 50 coming up.
It's kind of awesome because it's like I feel like old school is like legacy players, and to be a part of that club is so much
Hmm.
cooler.
Yeah,
You know,
Oh
it
yeah.
is.
like
Yeah.
it's just way cooler to be part of the when we went to different countries and we were more than just a
Yeah.
number.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems like a really awesome concept that I mean it gave the whole season like more character and everything, obviously, but it kind of sucks that they went away with it in the newer
Yeah.
seasons. But yeah.
Now
Hmm.
it's, 26 days, your season is a number, and you're all in Fiji.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm happy to hear other players are saying that too, because obviously the fans are going to bitch about it, the ones on the couch and
Yeah.
tater chips and all
Yeah.
that. So, but to hear other players like actually, I understand why they did it at first because of COVID and all of that.
Right.
At least the 26 days part, but man, there's a lot of stuff people are missing from those old school seasons.
To be
And
completely honest, the hardest part were the last 7 days. It was so hard those last 7 days. So when I hear day 26, I'm like, are you joking right now? My
yeah.
sister, the family visit hadn't even happened on day 26.
Hmm.
Oh man.
Yeah, they had another what is that? 13 more days. Another two
Yes.
weeks for you guys.
Like, and that's a
Oh my
lot.
gosh.
That's when I lost. Like, I was a skeleton by the end of it, you know? It was
Mm-hmm.
just,
Yeah.
it was hard.
Yeah, no, it's insane. Like they'll like Jeff will just like randomly say day 31 on these older seasons. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like, oh wow, gotta get used to that. I mean, for somebody that's gonna be under myself, Todd, I'm okay with 26. That's
Oh,
okay for me.
absolutely. See,
Yeah.
like
We'll make it
if I
work.
were to go back now and they were like 26 days, I'm like, oh, okay, that's great.
Yeah. You do
Thank you.
Yeah.
14, do a
It's a
weekend or
weekend for
something
me.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then just kind of, I mean, bringing us to present day, what was it like, man, after you got that check? I mean, how did I'm guessing that kind of changed your life around quite a bit after you won that thing, and in more ways than one. You got the fame, you got the money. I mean,
It's
crazy.
really weird because like I kept working.
Like
I'm a
doing the flight
weirdo.
attendant stuff, or
No, I was a server. I
oh
was
wow,
Okay.
like I've never
he's
really
making
stopped
Funko Pops right
working.
after.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
so I I never really cared about the being on TV, the fame part. The money
Hmm.
obviously was great. Was able to travel, buy a condo and buy a car and like just live my life. And I did party a lot. I mean, the world knows went through some crazy alcoholic drinking
Hmm.
pastimes, but I don't blame that on Survivor. Like that was just a part of my life. But like I feel like the money and the survivor part was something I anticipated my whole life in a way. Like I knew it was
Hmm.
coming because that's what I dreamt of doing.
Sure.
And so it was, but I've always been like I'm so cheap. I love shopping clearance. Like I'm so cheap. And so like I've always still worked no matter what it was. Like I still had a part-time job or even a full-time job, but like so that's what people always say to me, like, what'd you do with the money? I'm like, well, I put it in a bank account and I saved it. And I bought a house and stuff, but like I'm not terrible with money. I'm pretty good with money.
Hmm.
Hmm. That's awesome.
Hmm. Well, I mean, you started a
So,
very successful business making
and that
Yeah.
was
shoes
a
and stuff,
fluke,
right?
but I'm not going to complain. Like the business
Hmm.
part is just like bonus because I love this. Like I love doing what I get to do. It's I mean, like today I've been doing my taxes, and that is a pain in the ass, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Oh
But
yeah.
that's the only thing I hate about this is the tax part.
Hmm.
That's gotta be a
Like I
pain in the
hate
ass.
doing them.
Yeah.
I'm glad it affects everybody like that.
Yeah, for real. Fuck.
Uh, I haven't. That's one of my favorite quotes is Todd saying, $1 million, that's a lot of money.
The winner's
Yeah.
quote. That's one thing I do miss is like they used to hide the winner's quote in the old seasons,
Hmm.
and that was
Hmm.
Oh
mine.
gosh.
Hmm. Yeah. No, it was awesome, awesome season, man. But yeah, you got the bank, and that was always my thing too. Like I with me, again, outside looking in. The money part just never really was something that made me want to do it. I think just playing the game would be
Yes.
fun. Just the game part. Like if you didn't win anything, just like when you win in Monopoly or Uno or something, you don't get anything. Like it would still be quite the experience.
I think like something about stepping so outside of your comfort zone, living in the jungle with strangers, having to befriend them and betray them was just like this super weird, manipulative, exciting idea that sounded like a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so miserable and so hard, but it was so fun at this
Mm-hmm.
all at the same time. Um,
Well, you said it, not me, but I thought you would have been a great villain on Heroes versus Villain, or
well,
yeah,
thank
Heroes
you.
versus Villains. Yeah, I mean, boy, little two-faced bastard we got in a call here, but
It's
uh,
true.
very much required. And this was during a day and age in Survivor where
Oh
people
my
cared
gosh.
more about the morality of things.
Yes.
So much.
And nowadays, no one even talks about that anymore. So for you to really dive into that, I mean, I think is cool. And also, one thing that I really enjoy about you, Todd, is at least you're a damn good actor with it. But definitely can separate the game from the real life thing to where you can lie, cheat, and steal in Survivor, but in real life, very easy to talk to, very friendly, very nice,
Thank,
kind of
thank
thing.
you.
How
I
about that?
honestly, this is what I tell people, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart, is like I like people. I will get along with anybody unless I'm treated with disrespect. Because I'm gonna treat everybody exactly how I want to be treated. And if we both do the same, then I don't see why we wouldn't get along, you know?
Mhm.
Except in Survivor, though, I'm going
Oh
to
well,
apply
that's
some
completely
disrespect.
different.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like what happened in that FTC where John Rivera said something and you just lied to his face, and then at the live reunion, you're like, yeah, no, I did, but you were like nice about it too. You're like, I did, but
Yeah.
I'm
like,
sorry.
yeah,
Like
game's
why would I
over, dude.
why would I
Yeah.
lie during the game and then hey, this is still very much the game.
Yeah, the
Uh,
FTC part, and
yeah,
I
it's like
mean,
what the heck?
he had such an awesome final tribal council in there. I mean, that's one thing people were saying in the Reddit post too. Is it was awesome and won over a lot of people. I always thought for a long time, at least by the time they did those FTCs and were asking questions and stuff, people had their minds made up like 3 days ago, if not longer.
Yeah.
But you got away with your words and probably convinced quite a few people that you were worth a damn here.
I mean, I think I
Yeah.
did because I was the one who did the most backstabbing, but I feel like one of my main things going into it was to really let them know that 16 of us came in, only one of us can win. I was genuine when I was being your friend, but in the game of Survivor, only one of us gets to the end. And I will
Mm-hmm.
do what I have to do to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I really appreciate too is being able to distinguish between the two of them as well. And I think because you owned up to a lot of the shit that you did too, which people really appreciated. Where I think people with Amanda, for example, one of their biggest complaints for her was how much she would apologize or something like that. Where Todd's like, "No, I did it. Proud of it too."
Yeah.
But
I mean, at that point, it's like, what's the point in lying? They already
mm-hmm,
know. So,
mm-hmm,
like,
Yeah.
they're going to be able to call you on your lie if you hide it, you
mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they get to
Unless
watch the
it
whole
was,
season too.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
You get to
exactly. And
watch it
so,
all
like,
back.
there's absolutely no reason to pretend that you did something else unless it was a simple lie to somebody like Jean Robert, who needed
Mm-hmm.
his ego stroked in the final tribal council.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can tell him later that it was a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
once you have the check and you put it in your wallet, you're like, yeah, it was bullshit, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Oh
yeah,
man.
but no, I mean, it was awesome. Great season. I mean, what a cast too. Yeah, guys, you guys had so many awesome personalities on that cast.
I did love my cast, I won't lie.
It was
Yeah,
pretty good.
they absolutely killed it, and very very deserving winner of it.
Well, thank you.
And just wrapping it all up, man. I mean, you're doing your Funko Pops and stuff right now. Any other big updates? I mean, what's been going on since Viver and all of that? You talked about a lot of different stuff. Sounds like life's treating you pretty good.
I have no complaints. I really don't. I'm turning 40 in a couple weeks, and my husband surprised me with a Mexican Riviera cruise that we're going on. So
Oh.
that's exciting.
All right, so
yeah.
that's season 50.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly.
I'm
You're
not
gonna be
buying
gone for
it.
3
I'm
months.
not buying it. I know.
I will be gone for like 6 days.
They're gonna make it shorter.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's
I mean,
awesome.
I'm happy. Life is good.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, and you've overcome a lot as well, too. I mean, both in and outside of the game. You got a hell of a lot of stuff to be proud of, man.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, I got sober 8.5 years ago, so that's exciting.
nice. Coming up on the decade mark.
I know, which honestly, that's even weirder because it doesn't feel like it's that long.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, I mean, I have my own business. I'm married. I got sober, and I'm just living life.
Mm-hmm. One survivor. So
Yeah.
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 He's doing awesome. You get recognized a lot in public or anything like that? Like when you're a server at Applebee's or wherever the fuck you were, you're like, holy shit.
Oh, when I was a server, yeah, it was all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, not so much now. Like, I'm not really like wandering around super public places often, I guess. Like, I work
Sure.
from home. So,
Mhm.
like, unless I'm at Walmart or something, but
Mhm.
it happens once in a while.
Well, I know from where you're from too, that being in Utah and all of that, it's not like LA or something like that. So
Yeah. And I'm
had to
sure,
make
and a
that
lot of the
trip.
people that see me, they're like, oh, yeah, there's that guy again, the survivor guy.
Yeah, it's a Funko Pop boy there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. But I mean, anyways, we're at time here, dude. So we really, really appreciate you stopping on by the Burton Burger podcast. Todd, do you want to shout out some of your socials and stuff where people can find you and your business?
Yes, absolutely. You can check me out on Instagram. It's Todd's Pop Shop, or my regular Facebook, Todd Herzog, or you can email me at toddspopshop@gmail.com, and I will give you quotes on whatever pops you're wanting made.
They're pretty dope.
That's
We'll
awesome.
have plenty of art of ours up for you guys to check out, and all of Todd's links will be down in the description below. So thanks again for coming on, Todd. Very, very excited to
Absolutely.
have you on and really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. I had a great time. It was awesome chatting. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and I
Thank you.
will talk to you later.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Todd, and thank you so much to all of you for listening to this episode of the Burton Burger Podcast. Remember, we're just trying to bring a little bit of the family element to the podcast world, and at the end of the day, it's still only comedy. So please, calm down.
Chill.
Chill even. All right, thank you, Todd. Thank you, everybody. We will see you all in the next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.
And my husband surprised me with a Mexican Riviera cruise that we're going on. So that's exciting.
All right, so
yeah.
that's season 50.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly.
I'm
You're
not
gonna be
buying
gone for
it.
3
I'm
months.
not buying it.